we would go out and look at the competitors and see essentially layouts, videos. Are we missing particular information that they're sharing? So essentially bringing the client up to spec. So this is why I said I feel like ecom can be more complicated. We can build landing pages for lead gen, easy, chuck them out on a subdomain, bang. For product pages, because we obviously don't control the website in most cases, it gets a bit more complicated, doesn't it? So do you prescribe what to do or make recommendations, an experiment to run?
Yeah, so essentially how I would do it is, out of the first thing, you're doing your product selection, and I'm kind of grouping them into a few different buckets. So my buckets are like pretty much anything that's above your profit line. So it doesn't necessarily have to be ROAS. You can set your ROAS goal, anything above that. And then 20% above that, these are like kind of my golden products. And what I would do is focus in on those particular product pages first, because what you see on 99% of websites, you do have those hero products, Pareto principle, 20% of the products are generating 80% of the revenue, but they've still got fucking shitty bloody product pages. It's just the normal Shopify description, click the add to cart, and there's no enticing, there's no selling, there's no gifs of showing the product off or anything like that. You want a super detailed product page to increase that conversion rate on that particular page, but you don't want to spend the time if you've got 1,000 different product lines, because it's just not going to work.
No. So it's 80-20, isn't it? Another one for ecom that we've seen very well, and it's relatively straightforward. User-generated content. So taking a testimonial or a review for the product and actually making that part of the page where someone has essentially it fixed, or it's a solution, or it did this for me, whatever the product may be, and really making use of the user content far more. I don't mean just sticking fucking Instagram images on there like some of these widgets do. I mean actually using that content as part of the sales page in the description, or as even a component on the page. But it, like you say, it depends on how big the store is, on how granular you can go. And therefore, if it's a much larger store, looking at my checklist, we would go out and look at the competitors and see essentially layouts, videos, like you mentioned. Are people showing off the product in a different way, a better way? Are we missing particular information that they're sharing in the descriptions, in the features, and so on and so forth? So essentially bringing the client up to spec. If it's a much broader shop, because if they've got 10,000 products, we ain't doing one page at a time. Max asked a good question. So for on-page CRO, and I guess it can be asked for both lead gen and e-commerce, do we upsell, or do we consider this falls into the contract? I will answer that immediately. It's part of our job because we charge for performance. So for us, it makes sense. We don't do a huge amount of it because these are normally tests that are run for months on, we make a recommendation, but for me, we charge for performance.